What's up, guys? Joe Madden here for Picks and Parlays, coming at you with a game preview. My best bets in the matchup between Penn State and Ohio State. Now, I'm a Buckeyes fan, and I did expect going into the season we would see a tighter spread, and the books did too. The look-ahead lines were sitting right around that number of 3. Penn State, though, is a mess this season. Firing head coach James Franklin, losing their last 4 games, but coming into this one off a bye. It's a hard spot for Penn State. Now, we know Penn State has always struggled versus Ohio State. And I shouldn't say always, but as of late, their last win coming versus Ohio State back in 2016. So they've lost the last 8 straight versus the Buckeyes, the last 6 here in Columbus, and it's going to be a struggle under the circumstances for Penn State to come away with the cover, let alone the win. So looking at Penn State here, a couple things working against them. I do think there's some player props we can look at in this game. As long as Penn State can control the clock, we should see a lower scoring game because we know the Buckeyes' strength on the defensive side of things. But that being said, the Buckeyes have every ability to run away with this one if Penn State can't get them off the field on 4th down. So let's jump into the bets that I'm liking in this game. But first, I want to remind you of a couple things happening over on picksandparlays.net. Firstly, the Weekend Warrior package. If you're looking for those football picks out there, you don't want to miss out on the Weekend Warrior package from your handicapper of choice on picksandparlays.net. For just $49, you'll get their picks for Saturday and Sunday in the NFL and college football for that one price. At no extra cost, they will throw in those plays on a Monday as well. So head on over to picksandparlays.net for that. And if you're looking for more than just football, you guys, you want to check out your handicapper choices full slate for the rest of this year. You guys, we have NFL, college football, NHL. The World Series is wrapping up, but still a couple more days left of that. We also have college basketball. So much going on over there on picksandparlays.net. Don't miss out on that rest of the year package for $8.30 a day from your handicapper of choice. Okay, let's start breaking down this matchup between Penn State and Ohio State. Again, that spread sitting at 20.5, and we do have a total of 43.5. My biggest concern for Penn State in this one is how they're going to put up those points. The Buckeyes allowing under a touchdown per game on the season. It's a struggle for any team to score on them. And now we do have Penn State with a second string quarterback, Grunkenmeyer, coming out here. They're going to need to control the clock. They can't turn this ball over. They're going to have to take every opportunity that they can to keep Julian Sayin off the field with all of his weapons at his disposal. You look at Jeremiah Smith, one of the best in the country. You've got Tate on the other side. You have Bo Jackson, James People. The list just goes on for Ohio State, and that's just talking the offensive weapons out there. We know this defense will be all over the second string quarterback, Grunkenmeyer, coming out here for Penn State. So this is going to be a hard one. Penn State has to control the clock in this game for us to keep it within the number. Now, coming off a bye, you know this team is going to be ready and prepared, especially since their DC was last season's DC here for the Buckeyes. Yes, Jim Knowles was the defensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Lots of criticism coming against him here with Penn State as they haven't lived up to what people thought he would have been able to do. Some people noting that this defensive plan is just too complicated. They're allowing 19.4 points per game, 303.7 yards per game, and 145 of those through the air. They need to play stronger in that secondary, and they're going to have their hands full today with Sayin being able to sling that ball nice and deep. Now, one thing to know, even though they have lost their last 4 games, every game that they have lost has been within a score. So this is a team that has been able to keep these 4 losses tight. But when push comes to shove, is the defense here of Penn State going to be able to, in that fourth quarter, make the plays when needed, which we've seen those struggles out of them this season. Now, I do think we look here at Penn State for that run game. Allen, their running back here, needs to be able to move the ball on the ground. I'm looking at him over 49.5 rushing yards is coming in at minus 111. Now, if you want to take a shot on that anytime tutty, it is dangerous, but I do think he has the ability to run one in. It's coming in at plus 210. I don't think Penn State gets shut out in this one. And while you could look at Nicholas Singleton to put that touchdown on the board for Penn State, I would rather look at the running back Allen here, as I do think he'll find more success on the ground versus this defense. They need to protect the ball nice and strong, and he needs to have solid hands, make sure the defense doesn't punch it out and turn that ball over in this game. Now, when we look at the other side for the Ohio State Buckeyes, we know what Sayin can do. We know what Matt Patricia has done with this defense. So when we break down the Buckeyes on the defensive side of things, we talked about that 5.9 points per game, best in the country. They are allowing 131.3 passing yards per game and 85.6 rushing yards per game. So in this one, I do think Allen would have the most success. 49.5 seems like a light number for the running back here for Penn State. I think he gets a majority of the workload. When we look at where we see Ohio State on the offensive side, they're averaging 279.7 passing yards per game, 151.7 rushing yards. So definitely not putting up as many yards out there on the ground. They are scoring an average of 36.4 points per game. And we're seeing Penn State averaging 34 points per game. Again, Penn State is going to have their hands full trying to put those points up on the board. I'll be shocked if they hit 20 points in this game, you guys. They are averaging 185.4 passing yards per game, 169.6 rushing. So 55th best in the country on the ground. I do think that's where we're going to see the workload. We know the Buckeyes are going to be able to get the points on the board versus Penn State. You can keep them off the field as much as you want, but once they get on that field, they will be scoring. Jeremiah Smith seems like the go-to target. We all know that, but Penn State knows that as well, and I do think Jim Knowles will have a game plan for him. I do think because of that, that leaves Tate open out there on the field, and I think he gets his. Looking at Tate over his receiving prop of 68.5 is a solid way to go. You're going to have to lie slate juice on that one at minus 110. You can also look for Tate to get in the end zone. That's coming in at minus 120. 2+ tutties for him will get you great plus money. But again, I do expect this to be a lower scoring one. So not sure I would fire it all the way up to 2+ when you do have Jeremiah Smith out there on the other side. You have Bo Jackson. You have James People. You have Sayin who can run it in himself as well. So where am I going to go with my best bets in this one, you guys? I think Penn State controls that clock. Off a bye, even though they've lost the last 4 and this team seems a mess right now, I'll grab them plus the 20.5. I think it's too many points. If you want to look at a first half spread, the first half might be the way to go, as Penn State comes out with a solid plan in the first half, and then we see Ohio State pull away in the second. I'm going to go full game because I've been burnt a couple of these games out there with expecting that, but the dog has come out stronger in the first than in the second, or vice versa. So I want the full game, laying the 20.5. I will look at this total to stay under 43.5. So keep your fingers crossed that the Buckeyes don't run away with this one. Then I will look at Allen, the running back here for Penn State, over the 49.5 for his rushing yards at minus 111. I'll take him for the anytime tutty as well, plus 210. And then for the Ohio State Buckeyes, my Ohio State Buckeyes, you guys, I will look at Tate here to get nice and open and get over 68.5 receiving yards and that anytime touchdown at minus 120. But let me know what you guys are liking out there on the field between Penn State and Ohio State. I would love to see a tight battle in this one. Can Penn State pull off the upset? Well, if you guys are brave enough to go against Ohio State, taking Penn State off a bye to get back in form, drop it below. Bragging rights are always on the line, you guys. I want to hear what you're liking in this Saturday matchup. You've heard my bets. Now's your chance to give us yours. Again, don't forget about the Weekend Warrior package over on picksandparlays.net. Also, for the rest of the year, you can get your handicapper of choice's best bets for just that $8.30 a day for the rest of 2025. So much going on right now, you guys. Stay tuned here on Picks and Parlays on YouTube for all of the free bet videos. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and again, comment below with what you're liking out there on the field. You guys, until next time, stay hot and let's make some freaking money.